here, which then goes into the bottom of the gun. Just pop that in there, clip it in. There's meant to be a screw just here, but that seems to be missing. It seems to stay in anyway. And to turn on the gun, there's a little switch here. I've shut the curtains and tried to make it as dark as possible so you can get an idea of what this is supposed to look like. But if I just pop the switch here, it all lights up, as you can see. There's lights all the way around it. And the needles are all lit up as well, apart from this middle section, which seems to be problematic. We'll get that sorted, I'm sure. So when you pull the trigger, it makes the sound effects, and the needles are then supposed to fall in sequence down into the body of the gun, which they're obviously not doing. And here there's another button that you press, and this is supposed to reload the weapon, so they should all pop back out. And again, yeah, that's not working as it should. But what I'll do is I'll get this taken apart and we can have a look at what's going on inside and what the problem is. I'm hoping it's just part of the mechanism has either snapped off and just needs re-glued, or something's come loose. But we'll do it. But yeah, overall it's a cool replica pop gun. A fun item to have in your collection, but yeah, let's get it taken apart and you can see what's going on inside. It looks like it's going to be easy enough to take apart. I think it's just held together by a lot of crosshead or Phillips head screws. Got my trusty toolkit and the ice cube tray there, ready to go. But yeah, I'll start taking this thing apart. I've got the gun partially disassembled now, and luckily the top half seems to be a separate module, so that just unscrewed from the top section here and I was able to get a look at what was going on inside here. And straight away I found this here. This is the little micro switch mechanism that has broken free of its mounting point in there. The other thing I've noticed is this here. I think this is some sort of rail mechanism that lowers and raises these spikes, these needles, and it has overridden whatever track it's meant to run on and taken out, or at least stretched or moved some things that it's not supposed to. I don't think it's meant to be all the way back here. I'll have a look at that. Yeah, that runs the entire length of this module. There's loads and loads of wires and mechanical parts going on in here. But yeah, I'll take a closer look at that, and hopefully it's just a case of gluing some things back in place and it should work okay. But so far, so good. I'm really happy that I didn't have to take the whole thing apart, and it was just this top section that came up apart from the main body. That's going to give me a lot less work. But I'll keep on and see if I can't get that rail sorted. Some time has now passed and this thing is a total nightmare to work on. There's so many mechanical parts and wires, and getting access to all the little bits that you need to is pretty tricky, but I think I've got it figured out and it's for the most part working as it should now. There's just one set of LEDs that I need to get working again, but that shouldn't be too difficult. The main problem with it was some of the little micro switches that control this whole rail assembly had popped off their mounts. There's a set of micro switches for each of these needles, and there's one here for the main rail assembly. So a couple of them had popped off, and when one of them pops off, the whole thing pretty much goes out of sync and it throws everything off. But hopefully everything's back to where it should be. I'll quickly fire this up and we'll see how it actually functions. So if I just pull the trigger, you'll see it move forward, and the first set of needles should go down like that, and again the second, third and fourth, and yeah, that's what's meant to happen when you fire the gun. And when you hit the reset button to reload it, it should move all the way back and reset them all, like so. So it seems to be working now. The only thing is there's a set of LEDs and these needles here that needs to be switched back on. I'm not sure, maybe there's a loose wire somewhere, but yeah, for the most part it's working again. I just need to hot glue these little switches back into place. As you can see, I'll just turn this off. As you can see, these here are falling off their mounts. They're not very well secured into place, so I'll get that hot glued back on, and hopefully that sorts out the problem. I'll follow the wiring on that set of LEDs and see what the problem is with that. But yeah, overall not fun to work on, but I think I've got it working again, so yeah, I can get to putting this thing back together again. It looks like the only problem with that set of LEDs was just that one of them had gone bad, and I've now removed that part, the one at the end here, and I'll get a replacement ordered up. I'll get that fitted when it comes in. But yeah, everything seems to be working essentially. All the other LEDs have now lit up. I'll give this one last test before I get that together again, so if I just reset them all, it's working, and we'll rapid fire through all of them again. Yep, working perfectly. So I'll get this put back together again and give it a final test, and that should be it. That's everything all back together again, and it seems to be working fine. I had to take it apart a couple more times just because I think the wiring room for the rail mechanism is getting caught up in something, and also the speaker that sits in the back here come loose as well, so that needed re-hot glued into place. But otherwise, yeah, it's been working fine, no problems at all. I'll need to replace that LED in this needle here, but all the other ones are lighting up fine, no problems at all. I'll get that sorted when the part comes in. I'll just get one last test here, so if I fire through the sequence. Yep, all working fine, and if I reload, perfect. So yeah, £35, that's a really good deal, I think. I'm not the biggest Halo fan in the world, but just to have something like this in the collection is it's kind of cool, kind of fun to have. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Time for another fixing faulty eBay junk video, and if you're not familiar with the series, it's basically where I go on eBay and I try to find myself a faulty old console for a good deal and see if I can get it working again and get some use out of it. Not really done any of these in a while because it's getting quite tricky to find good deals on faulty systems, and I'm also kind of at the point where I have most of the consoles that I want, so yeah, it's kind of getting tricky to make videos out of this format when I'm looking for a good deal. But I did manage to find this one here, and it's a Vectrex. If you don't know what the Vectrex is, then well, I'm kind of surprised that you don't, but it's a console. Well, it's kind of like an all-in-one console. It's got its own built-in screen. It was released around 1982, I think, so it's pretty old, over 30 years. And yeah, they're kind of legendary, and managed to find this one for a good deal. Well, it's faulty, but it sold for $26.99 and £4 postage. So I'm going to have a shot at trying to get this thing working again with the camera here. The only thing, well, the only description of the fault here is that it's, what does it say? Good cosmetic condition, but does not power up. So I'm hoping it's going to be an easy fix, something to do with the power supply, maybe even just a blown fuse, but we'll see. There could be a whole number of different things wrong with it, but for the price I paid, I think that's a pretty good deal. It doesn't look like it comes with the controller, but from what I understand, I can use like a Mega Drive controller. I can modify it so I can use that. And it's already got a built-in game anyway, so I don't need to worry about tracking the game to test it out with. But it's already arrived, so I'll get to unbox. Here it is here. It comes in this massive big box. Just open this up and find out the condition it's in. So it's not too damaged or anything. It is a good cosmetic condition like the listing said. Looks like it's been well packaged anyway. It's a bubble wrap, that's always a good sign. And there it is there. The Vectrex. So this is the first time I've ever seen one of these. I've never actually played one or tried one out. Jeez, it's pretty heavy. Box over here. And there we go. That is the Vectrex. Tilt this up and you can see. There it says Vectrex on it. And it looks to be in decent condition. It's got a bit of a scrape down the side here. Oh man, that is heavy. There we go, Vectrex. Got a brightness adjuster on the back. And I suppose it's almost like a carry handle there. So what I'll do is I'll plug this in and you can see if we get any signs of life from it. Just for anyone that isn't aware or isn't familiar with this thing here, this is a UK standard plug, and you'll find this attached to pretty much all electronic devices here in the UK. You've got 3 prongs. You've got one at the top here for earth, and then you've got a live prong and a neutral as well. And these are all individually fused, so they've all got a fuse inside. And hopefully the only thing I'll need to do with this is change the fuse in this plug. That would be really good, but I doubt that's going to be the case. It's probably going to be something a bit more complicated than that. And just to quickly mention as well, you shouldn't really be able to see these live and neutral wires sticking at the end of the plug. This is in pretty poor shape, and I'll definitely be taking this apart to have a closer look. Plug it in and see if we get any signs of life from the Vectrex itself. The power button is on this because I'm not familiar with the system. So I've got it all plugged in, and with the Vectrex I've just discovered that you have to turn this little knob here to switch it on. That also controls the volume. But as you can see, as you can probably hear as well, there's no signs of life to this. So what I'm going to do now is take that plug apart and see if this is the problem, and I'll test the fuse in it. And these are just held together by one screw in the middle here, so we can take a quick look. Oh, first thing I noticed, you can see there, what was that one? That's the neutral. I can't even remember. It's not even attached to the terminal in the plug, so that straight away is going to tell me there's a problem right there. But what I'll do quickly is I'll just test this fuse here. This thing is, you can just pop these out, and this is like a kind of safety feature of the UK plugs. You've got a fuse built into the power socket right in the wall. So I'll test that there. The best way to test those is using a multimeter. You could just get a known good fuse and test it out in the plug. But this is a good way as well. You just want to have it on your continuity tester, so when these two touch, it makes a beeping noise. So all I need to do is get the fuse like so, and put one connector at each end. And as you can hear the beeping, so we know the fuse is good. There's an electrical contact there. So what I'll do is I'll put that plug back together again and reconnect that terminal, and we'll see if we get any signs of life. I've now completely rewired the plug. I used my wire trimmers to cut the cables back, get everything reseated and the way it should be. I'm still going to replace this plug because it's really old, and you can see here there's bits chipped out of it. There's bits in here missing, but for the purposes of testing this should be safe enough, so I'll put the lid back on it and tighten it all up, and we can see if we get any signs of life. Just tighten that back up so that's it all safe, and we'll plug it in there, test it out. And it's buzzing. It actually works. No way. So it turns out the only thing wrong with the Vectrex that I've tested so far was that plug. kind of difficult to see the screen with the big glare, but it seems to be working. There we go. So I've just shut the curtains over there, and the camera's having a real hard time focusing in on this, but as you can see, it's working great. If I move it back a bit, you can actually see it. I can adjust the brightness, and that works fine, but it looks great. I mean, this is literally the first time I've ever seen a Vectrex in action, and it just looks so cool. I know the graphics on it are so crisp and sharp and clear. Yeah, there we go. So what I'll do now is I'll take this thing and get it a good clean, and then I'll maybe see about putting a Mega Drive controller into this and see if we can test it out and make sure that it does actually work. I mean, it fires up and everything, so that's a good start. And for, what was it, £27 and £5 postage, I really cannot complain at that at all. So I'm really happy about getting hold of this thing. It just looks so cool. Fast forward a couple of days and I've now had a chance to properly test and give the Vectrex a good clean, and overall I'm very, very happy with it. There was no major dings or scratches or cracks in the housing or anything like that, and it cleaned up very nicely, other than the scratch in the box there, just from the side. And you can't really see that. It's in excellent condition. The screen's in good condition, there's no scratches in that, and it all turned out very nicely. I got compressed there, cleaned it all, wiped it all down, and then used the old trick of getting a rag, a wiper rag, putting some WD-40 on it, and then giving it a good wipe down. That's what I do with all my cleansers, and it works really well to bring out the original shine in the plastic. So that's all been done. The other thing I did was replace that old plug. I just went into my parts bin and dug out this one here. It's not new, but it's in much, much better condition than the original one, a lot safer. And I'll plug that in and give you a quick demo in a minute. The other thing I did was I got my, this is like an extension cord for the Mega Drive or Master System. And unfortunately, a stock Mega Drive controller won't fit into the port here. There's kind of an obstruction with the plastic housing around here. So what you need to do is just cut away some of the, I'll show you this here, some of the controller focus, there we go. Just get a knife and cut away some of the plastic around the housing there. And then that will then fit in there, and you can go ahead and plug in a stock, either Vectrex controller, Master System controller, or Mega Drive controller into this, and that allows you to play your games. The other thing, unfortunately, is that a stock Mega Drive controller doesn't work on the Vectrex. You need to modify it slightly. So what I'm going to do is, again, go into my parts bin and find an old controller, modify it so I can use it with the Vectrex. And then once I've done that, I should be able to play the majority of the games for the system. There are one or two that require the analog stick that you find in an original controller, but other than that, it should be fine. I do want to track down an original controller for this and just complete the console. The original controller sits in here where you're not using it, and yeah, I'd like to get one of those eventually, but they're quite expensive and not exactly the most common things to find, but in future I'll try and track one of those down. So in the meantime, what I've been doing is using my old Master System controller here. It doesn't give you the full functionality you'd find with the original controller, but it does enough to let me test out the built-in game. Again, I'll show you that in just a moment. I'll hook it all up, but overall, very, very happy with it. It works perfectly, and for what, £32 or whatever I paid, I think that's an excellent deal. I don't know if I can really call it a console fix, because the only thing that was wrong with it was the plug, so not really the console itself, just the plug socket, the plug that was faulty and worn out, but yep, very happy with it. So what I'll do now is I'll just plug it in and give you a quick demonstration. pop the camera onto the tripod and set it all up, and I'll give you a quick demonstration of the Vectrex in action. There we go. You can probably hear that buzzing in the background. That's kind of like a signature feature of the Vectrex. There are mods you can do to remove it, but I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's like part of the original system. That's what it would have sounded like when it came out the factory back in the day. And this is the built-in game. So I've only got limited functionality on this controller here. I can basically fire and move forward and warp. But it looks great. I'd really like to get a flash cart for the system so I can test out some other games. Okay, just killed myself. I'd like to get a flash cart and maybe a couple of original overlays so I'll get the full colour effect of the original games. Oh, I know one of these buttons makes it warp, I can't remember which one it is. It's diagonal bottom left or something ridiculous. So I will need to modify a Genesis controller in the meantime so I can play these games. Let's see if I can beat the first level here. There we go, first level completed. And the second level is pretty much the same. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Time for another Let's Repair, and this time I think this is possibly one of the best deals I've personally ever found on eBay. As before, I've recorded this over the course of like several days, so by the end of the video you'll actually get to see how everything turned out, whether it went well or not so well. But anyway, I'll just let you watch the video. So here's the latest faulty console that I've bought, and it's a TurboGrafx 16 UK PAL boxed, and it comes with the Blazing Lasers game. And got this for an excellent deal. I think it's £11.50 including free postage, and it's faulty, but when you see what comes with it I think you'll agree it's a very good deal. So yeah, it comes boxed, and I'm guessing these are pictures of the actual console and everything here. So it comes on the polystyrene inlay. You get the controller with it. Console there. Looks in really nice condition. There's a bit of a mark at this end, but we'll see what that's like when it eventually turns up. So everything looks fine. You get the AV cable with it, and the power cable, a power adapter. This looks like it's maybe an aftermarket thing that they've thrown in there, but again we'll see when it turns up. And you get the game. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but that's even got its little plastic sleeve. And finally you've got the controller and the instructions in their original baggie. So all of that for £11.50 including the postage. I don't know why no one else bid on this, but just seems no one else was really that interested in it, and I managed to snag it for £11.50. So just waiting for this to turn up now, and I'll read you the description of the fault actually, which is down here. So where is it? Console will only display a blank colour on startup and hangs indefinitely. All other included items are in full working condition, so that's good. It means that everything else is working fine apart from the console, and they've actually left a link here, some info on how you could maybe fix it. So it just looks like someone's repair blog where they've fixed a similar problem. It mentions a couple of things about what was it? Replacing a capacitor, replacing an IC, and that was pretty much it. But what ended up working for this guy was to clean up the contact pins for the cartridge and reflow some solder, so I'm hoping that this one is similar, but again I'll need to find out when it turns up. So I've only just won this today, so the date's the 23rd of January, and I've actually bought things from this seller before, called Game Sensei. This is the same seller that I got my Neo Geo CD controller from, and again that was faulty as well, but it turned up like next day, and I just needed to replace a couple of parts and that, and it worked fine again. So yeah, I'm hoping this turns up correctly and I can have a shot at repairing it, because I've never actually owned one of these before. I don't really know too much about them, but it should be fun to give it a go. I'll give it a go at trying to fix this thing, so I'll make another video when it eventually turns up. Okay, so it's now Friday and it's 2 days on from when I recorded the first part of this video, and this just turned up, so I'm guessing it's the TurboGrafx. So I suppose the next thing to do is open it up and see what we've got. Not too sure what this bulge is on the top, but yeah, let's see what we've got. I'm halfway into the package, and so far everything seems to be in good condition. On the top here there was this jiffy bag, and inside that it had the AV cables. They look to be in pretty much excellent condition. The power adapter, and I think this is probably the game, so I'll just continue opening this up. So I've now got it all unpackaged and very happy with what I've seen so far. So here's the console itself, and it looks to be in great condition. Can't see any signs of damage or obvious misuse or anything like that. It's nice and clean. There's no scuffs or scrapes. It's even got the original protective plastic over the TurboGrafx logo there. So yeah, very happy with that. And here I've also got the controller, and again it's in excellent condition. It doesn't look like it's ever even been used. It's got the plastic, protective plastic over the front panel as well. So very happy about that. Here's the game, Blazing Lasers, and this is complete in its box, its case, and it's in its full sleeve. You've got the manual and everything. It's the first time I've ever actually seen one of these in real life, so very cool. It is Blazing Lasers. Here got the manual, and again it doesn't look like it's ever even been opened up. Still got the, I think that's probably the original tape on there. Very nice. And the box, I don't really care about collecting boxes for my systems. I usually just end up selling them, but this one is in really nice condition considering its age. The only damage I could find is down at this corner here, where looks like something's maybe gone through the box a little there, but otherwise it's in excellent condition. And of course it's got the original polystyrene insert and the cardboard cover went over the top of that. So overall, very happy with what I've seen so far. For $11.50 it's a real bargain, I think. So next thing I need to do is hook this all up to the TV and test it out. I've got a little test stuff over there, hook up to that and see what we get. So far so good. Got it all hooked up now, so it's all plugged into the TV over there. Got my game, Blazing Lasers, and the contacts in that are all clean, so put that in there. And as I suspected, the power adapter that comes with it is not the original one. It's just a kind of generic power adapter. It's rated at 9 volts, 1.5 amp, and I don't know if someone's been messing around with the polarity in this because these seem to be blanked out, but I have tested it with this and it does work. Well, it works and it puts out a video signal, but it does cause some interference on the screen. So what I've done instead is I've dug out one of these original Mega Drive 1 adapters, and this seems to perfectly match the or near enough perfectly match the power rating that's on the bottom of the console. So I'm going to be using this one instead, and also when I use this I don't get any of the strange interference on the screen, so probably safest just to use that one. So got it all hooked up here, and I'll just fire it up and see what we get. So we're getting a plain blank white screen, and it does change between just a solid white screen and a blue screen. So if I take the cartridge out and turn it on, let's come up with the white screen again. If I just power cycles, you'll see the camera's going out of focus here. You'll see that it comes up with a blue screen. So do that one more time. It's a white screen, and it seems to be more when I plug in the cartridge. It'll change to a white screen. Oh no, it's come up as a blue screen. Anyway, so yeah, it seems to be putting out a video signal, either just a solid blue or a solid white screen. So next thing we're going to have to do here is pop this open and see if there's anything obviously wrong with it. Hopefully it's just